What's up, my dudes? What's up, my dudes? Let's get in here and talk about these old whipskis on the MXGP 2020. Okay? Let's just get this over with, bro. So, I just had to come in here and at least make one video on this. So, I know a lot of people were under this impression that this game was going to be very much like Supercross 3's physics, but in a motocross game, and it's going to be amazing, and you're going to have, like, the whips of Supercross 3 in the game and everything, and, like, yeah, the physics are similar, obviously, you know, because Supercross 3 literally just came out. Yeah, the physics are similar, and the whipping is similar, but it's like, dog, the struggle is real just trying to find a jump even big enough to toss the thing over on. And, like, it's just not what you would think. It's not what you would think when you would picture Supercross 3's physics in a motocross game, because of the small jump, small scaling, you know, high friction to the dirt, like all these other elements definitely makes the game feel entirely different. And what the hell is this where they've like pretty much completely gotten away from the like trying to do any kind of freestyle type bigger jumps at all on their free ride track. There's just, whoa, Stoppy King out here, bro. They've just pretty much quit all that. You guys remember on like Supercross or MXGP 2019's compound, you know, it had those freestyle jumps on it. Even like MXGP Pro's compound. Oh shit. Had some, you know, bigger jumps and stuff on it. But like, what the hell were they doing with this playground on MXGP 2020? I mean, good luck finding anything to really jump off of. Like, good luck, bro. It's going to be this, like, jumping off the side of a Grand Canyon, good luck landing that shit. None of this is actually, like, proper, you know, bigger free ride, freestyle type, 150-foot, whip it all the way over type jumps. Like, there's just none of that here. So, it's going to be a struggle for me to even show this whip system. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's going to be a struggle for me to even try to show it. But, like that right there, like you just can't even go, apparently that's just too steep for the game. Like anywhere that you would remotely be able to actually get some air, the game's physics is just like, nope, we're not going to let you hit that. Right? So, I don't know, dog. Very, very bizarre game design decisions here. And even when you're on, like, the default tracks of the game, I mean, let me try to go to a default track. I can't even hardly whip on this free ride playground here, which that's, like, one of the biggest points of having a free ride, you know, track, is to be able to massive jump, 200-foot backflip, whip it all the way over sand dunes. Like, that's kind of the whole point. But I can't hit anything on this. So let's try to go to the biggest jumps, you know, motocross track in this game, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so I don't even know if this is actually technically the biggest jumped, you know, biggest jumps track game, or biggest jump track in the game. We get English there, Svency boy. I don't know if this is the biggest jumps, you know, in the game here, but I know this track does have some bigger jumps, so we're going to try to test it out a little on here. But it's pretty sad when it's like you have to actually like try hard to find a jump to even throw a whip on that's even big enough to throw a whip on. I mean, when your game is to that point, that's how you know you don't have proper jump scaling and big enough jumps in your game, when it's like you have to actively like seek out any kind of jump in the game that's going to be big enough to throw any kind of whip on. I mean, even this one, it's just like, maybe this jump right here, this was the one I was kind of eyeballing it, but even still, that one's not very big. I may have to go to try a different track here, man. I know there's one track that I think has one decent sized jump on it. That one's, you know, it's just like, what the hell, though? Man. That is so weird. You know, I mean, yeah, you don't really have to work on your whip system much, Milestone, if you don't make a jump big enough to even, like, do it. I guess that's smart thinking by Milestone. I don't know. I don't know, bro. But, like, I can't even, these jumps are so small, I can't even do anything. Let me go to a different track. We'll try a different one here, boys. I don't know what else to do. Okay, I think this track might actually have a couple jumps where we can test this out a little bit. I need to hit the outside there so I can hit that a little further. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can definitely tell, but it's so weird because, like, I remember even being able to hit some jumps to whip over pretty good on, like, MXGP Pro. You know, that free ride little compound area, there was some jumps to hit on that. They were fairly big. Certainly Supercross 3, plenty of places to test out the whips. It's just weird that they would come out with a whole new game, and it's just like an absolute struggle to even test the whip system. Fuck even talking about how it actually is to even test it. You can't even test it. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, basically my opinions. I mean, yeah, the whips feel, you know, similar to Supercross 3, which is a good thing. You know, you can definitely turn both your thumbsticks the same direction and it's going to throw a whip. You can do like kind of the old school Milestone whips, you know, system where you're turning both your thumbsticks opposite directions and it'll do kind of like a different kind of a whip. But again, don't matter how good your whip system is, if there's no jump big enough to even throw it, then what the hell is the point? So I think that's more of the issue with this game. It's not so much that the whip system is so terrible, it's that there's not even a jump big enough to even see how it is. Okay, here's one right here. So, right, that's kind of like the old school Milestone whip. But they still have a bit of an issue where if you do turn both your thumbsticks the opposite directions like the old school style whip system, they do still kind of have that issue where it gets to a point where if you really whip it over, like you're just not going to be able to pull it back. It kind of gets locked in the air, gets stuck in the air, which is a little weird. It's kind of like almost like Supercross 2-ish getting stuck in the air whip system feeling. So it's not exactly like Supercross 3's whip system. I want some of you guys to understand that. You know, this shit is not exactly like that. It's similar, but it's not exactly like that. I can't even really say that this is better than Supercross 3's whip system. Certainly not, you know, better jumps to try to test it out on. It's worse jumps than Supercross 3 was. Like on the free ride track and all that kind of stuff, but I can't sit here and just tell you like this is better whips. It's similar to Supercross 3, but not exact. It's just kind of different and not really better. That's about the way I would explain this right here. So either way, I think that what's happening here is they're still kind of stuck in that transitional period where they're trying to like actually, you know, put inertia and feeling to their physics, you know, trying to change the physics from that original Milestone, basic, boring, hit a button, play an animation whip system and trying to actually develop that into something like where they went from MXGP, you know, Pro to Supercross 2 to MXGP 2019 to Supercross 3. You know, they've kind of really started trying to change and give the whip system more of a feeling to it and kind of being able to do varied whips and turning both your thumbsticks the same direction to whip and all these different elements. You know, they've been trying to kind of do that, but I still think they're sort of stuck, like I'm saying, in a transitional period to where it just kind of feels weird. It just feels like you're still not fluently whipping, flowing. The animation of it doesn't look quite like it should. You know, it's just still, you got a lot of this bizarre, like you find yourself landing kind of still in the whip animation, then it just shoots you off the side of the track when you land. You know, you need some of that, but at the same time, like, I do think it kind of feels like that a little more than it should. Like I'm saying, when you throw that OG style, turn both your thumbsticks the opposite direction, I think it needs to be a little faster on the pulling the whip back around. So you can, if not, you got to have bigger jumps, one of the two, because I cannot fucking throw a whip like that on these 20-foot tall jumps and expect to bring that shit back around. It's just not going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? If you really try to toss that shit, like, it's a struggle to get that shit to land, you know, because there's not enough time and air time to pull it around. So I don't know. There's no question about it that this game is severely lacking in jump, scaling, and skill gap. I mean, there is just absolutely no doubt about it. Holy shit. Like, I don't even know what that is, bro. I really don't. Couldn't tell you even what that is. But you're going to, pretty quickly in this game, you're going to find yourself getting to that point where it's like, what the hell even is the point in whipping over these jumps? There really is. It's more trouble than it's worth because of how small they are. You're not really gaining any kind of benefit, really. It's not really like, you know, how different whipping and scrubbing is on reflex. You know, so it's actually worth trying to scrub versus trying to whip because they can actually make you faster in the game. It doesn't really do that in this game, doing like a scrub versus a whip or trying to turn real hard over the face. It's just not going to do a whole lot. It's not going to do enough for it to even be worth doing, like, consistently or you know, trying to actually implement into your going faster on the track. It's just not even worth it, man. So it's kind of what you run into here, but that's pretty much my opinions on the whips of this game. This is probably the smallest jumped, can't even test out the whips MXGP game I've played in a while. Like, it's been a long time since I basically couldn't even hit a jump big enough to throw a whip on in the entire game. I mean, you might be able to get on somebody's custom track that's got some, you know, 300-foot run up to like the biggest jump in the track editor, maybe, and get a little bit more air time on that, but that's ridiculous. Why? I shouldn't have to go to the track editor to a custom track to even see how the whips are in the game. I should not have to do that. That's just insane. Like, you got to understand how jacked up that really is to even have to do something like that. But oh man, I just don't know what to do to even like show this. I can't even show it. I can't even show you how the whips are. I mean, I tried the best I could, guys, but either way, that's about the moral of the story to this whole game. Scaling is way too one-to-one. Jump fun factor is zilch, nada, does not exist. So then, therefore, there's really no point in leaning on a jump. There's really no point in trying to whip on a jump because it's just too small jump sizes. It's just not worth doing anything. It's just, there's just not much of a jump side to this game at all. There's just not really anything to that. The jumping just feels kind of like a secondary side aspect to this game. Put on the back burner side of this game. So yeah, don't be, if you're a, you know, jump lover, whip lover, you know, big rhythm, skill gappy lover in these motocross games, this is not your game at all. Which most of these milestone games are not going to be your kind of game for that at all anyways, but especially this game. Especially MXGP 2020, man, they're taking it to, even look how big that jump looks, right? And it's like you got to stretch that shit out to even stay off of the ground for more than 2 seconds. It's like even the biggest of the biggest jumps in this game still somehow feel small. It's like there's like too much gravitational pull, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, boys. I can't even explain it at this point, but either way. So the whips are similar to Supercross 3. You know, you can whip both directions, which is cool. But, like, I was expecting certainly more evolution to the whip system than it is here. And certainly, you know, big enough jumps to even be able to test it out here. You know, you certainly would have expected all of that. But, no, let's just improve the graphics and make a next-gen MXGP game. Let's not worry about actual proper size jumps or terrain deformation or, you know, proper pre-made roughness or any of that. So let's not worry about any of that. Let's just give you better graphics. So, yeah. Congratulations to some of you Milestone fanboys. This is what you get. This is what you get, bruh. So good luck even tossing a whip in that. Good luck finding a jump to even toss a whip in this game. It's not like it's hard to throw a whip, but it's hard to find a jump to throw a whip on. That's the real shitty aspect of it. But like I say, it's not a god-awful whip system. You know, there is some variation to it, but man, there's just nothing to even throw it on. There's nothing to, like, that's about all you're going to do. That's about the extent of the whip system in this game. You might get lucky and find one little secret little bigger jump on that one free ride compound area, maybe somewhere. But man, there's a lot of rocky, way too steep to even hit, tight. Just, it's more like a hill climb free ride track than a big jump free ride track. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of more like what the playground area is in this game, but either way, that's about all we can do here, boys. So, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.